Have you seen a supermarket cashier scan the items you bought? Then, what happened after? Item details will be visible on the computer screen, right? And do you guys know what is scan? It's like many parallel lines, right? Or what we call a QR code. Good afternoon, millennials. I'm Regita of Designing Room, or you can just call me Regita. I'm a student of Telkom Vocational High School, Purwokerto. And this time, we will discuss a technology called QR code. Based on the I said in the opening before, we take a case. A supermarket cashier who scans items with a QR code, and then the item will appear on the computer screen. Then what happens if there is no QR code technology? Of course, we will manually type the item details one by one. Very ineffective. A QR code is a type of matrix barcode or the two-dimensional barcode invented in 1994 by the Japanese automotive company Denso Wave. In practice, QR codes often contain data for a locator, identifier, or tracker that points to a website or application. QR code used for standardized encoding modes. There is numeric, alphanumeric, byte or binary, and kanji. To store data efficiently, extensions may be also used. A QR code consists of black squares arranged in a square grids on a whiteboard, which can be read by an imaging device such as camera and processed using Solomon error correction until the image can be appropriately interpreted. The required data is then extracted from patterns that are present in both of the horizontal and vertical components of the image. Besides it, QR codes can also be used to link directly to download an app on the Apple Store or Google Play, to authenticate online accounts and verify login details. 3. Access Wi-Fi by storing encryption details such as SSID, password, and encryption type. Then, QR codes can also be used to send and receive payment information. And the last one is much more. There's much more. QR code can also be used too. Okay, let's talk about something fun and something spicy. For these questions, are QR codes safe? Let's answer it. So, attackers can embed malicious URLs containing custom malware into a QR code, which could then exfiltrate data from a mobile device when scanned. It is also possible to embed a malicious URL into a QR code that directs to a phishing site where unsuspecting users could disclose personal or financial information. Because humans cannot read QR codes, it is easy for attackers to alter QR code to point an alternative resource without being deleted. While many people are aware that QR codes can open a URL, they can be less aware of the other actions that QR codes can initiate on a user's device. Aside from opening a website, these actions can include adding context or composing emails. These elements of surprise can make QR code security threats especially problematic. A typical attack involves placing malicious QR codes in public, sometimes covering up legitimate QR codes. Unsuspecting users who scan the code are taken to a malicious web page that could host an exploit kit, leading to device compromise or a spoofed login page to steal user credentials. Some websites do drive-by downloads, so simply visiting this site can initiate a malicious software downloaded. Mobile devices in general tend to be less secure than computers or laptops. Since QR codes are used on mobile devices, it increases the potential risk. Then, do QR codes collect our personal information and data? QR codes generating software does not collecting personality and identifiable information. The data is thus collected and which is visible to the code's creators, include location, the number of times the code has been scanned, and at what times plus the operating systems of the device which scanned the code, like iPhone or Android. And can someone hack a QR code? The QR codes themselves can be hacked. The security risks associated with QR code derive from the distribution of QR codes rather than the codes themselves. Hackers can create malicious QR codes, which sends users to fake websites that capture their data, such as login credential or even track their geolocation on their phone. So, this is why mobile users should only scan codes that come from a trusted sender. It's a warning. So, how do QR codes work? The patterns within QR codes represent binary codes that can be interpreted to reveal the code's data. A QR reader can identify a standard QR code based on the three largest squares outside the QR code. Once it has identified these three shapes, it knows that everything contained inside the square is a QR code. The QR code reader then analyzes the QR code by breaking the whole thing down into a grid. It looks at the individual grid squares and assigns each one a value based on whether it is black or white. It then groups grid squares to create larger patterns. A QR code is a type of a barcode that can be read easily by a digital device and which stores information as a series of pixels in a square-shaped grid. QR codes are frequently used to track information about products in a supply chain, and because many smartphones have built-in QR readers, they are often used in marketing and advertising campaigns. More recently, they have played a key role in helping to trace coronavirus exposure and slow the spread of the virus. That's all space that I can deliver. Thank you so much for your attention today. I am sorry for any words unpleasing you. Good afternoon, millennials.